Hey everybody, the Grammys are growing again. Well, not really. Seems they added 130,000 people to their audience from last year. That's a win, right? Nah. Here we go. It seems like an annual conversation now where we're talking about these award shows like they matter anymore. Well, they haven't mattered in a really long time because nobody cares. A lot of the artists and the acts that are presented in various award shows, not just the Grammys, but the Oscars and all the other places that they hand out little accolades so that we can pat each other on the back. Well, those ratings have been dropping like stones for a long time. And of course, the last 2 years haven't helped very much because the people that are receiving these awards and handing them out as well are, well, they're somewhat annoying. That's a nice way of saying it. And I think that largely is why the audiences have walked away. Well, maybe that and a few other things, like the quality of the things that they're producing is just absolutely terrible. And believe it or not, more of us would like to be here on YouTube or Rumble or Odyssey watching real people do real entertainment. At least a version of real entertainment, kind of like this video. But anyway, let's dive into this. It should be a lot of fun. Let's start with this first article, which is from our friends over at The Hollywood Reporter. They're kind of funny with these figures. They say, TV ratings, Grammys narrowly avoid low in early numbers. Well, as we'll find, they narrowly avoid low the whole time, but we'll get into it real quick. They actually narrowly avoided setting a second straight all-time ratings low. Wow. The 64th annual Grammys on Sunday drew 8.93 million viewers. Wow, that's straight out of Nielsen, folks. Basically, that's an increase of about 130,000 viewers from comparable figures last year. That was an all-time low. In 2021, ceremony was pared down, obviously, because of the global crisis, while this year's show postponed from January due to the surge in the variant of the day, more resembled past shows, which it kind of did, and there were some humorous moments that you can find clips of here on YouTube or Odyssey or Rumble or wherever you're watching this video. There weren't a lot of them, but there were a couple, and there were some performances, none of which were stellar, and maybe we'll get into that in just a minute. But essentially, it's a very tiny uptick for the Grammys, and it comes on the heels of the Oscars recording much bigger ratings growth a week earlier. Well, it grew largely because of, an incident, and 600,000 more people tuned in at one point because of a person receiving a particular trophy right after a violent act was perpetrated on stage. The Oscars grew about 60% in total viewers and about 77% in their main demographic that they're aiming for, 18 to 49, but they did not even come close to their pre-crisis levels. And that's not a surprise for anybody, but let's move over to something that matters. And this is from a publication called the Digital Music Rights or something like that. It's a newer one that I've started to enjoy. It says Grammy Awards barely miss an all-time ratings low for 2022. This is just published today on the 4th, which you're not seeing this until later this week, but it doesn't matter. The numbers aren't going to change. But the Grammy Awards ratings for 2022 were marginally better than last year, which was the least watched award show ever. According to Nielsen, 9.6 million viewers, and that's an increase of around 130,000 compared to last year, which again was the all-time low. The numbers have sunk to an all-time low post-global crisis. Part of the issue is that the award show is only available on limited platforms. This year's show was only viewable on CBS. That's linear TV. It's available to everybody here in this. I don't think that's limited. Paramount Plus, well, it's, yeah, of course. Hulu, that's another place. And Hulu TV, I don't know how that's limited. Oh, by the way, it's also available on something called Diginets, which we're going to actually talk about on another video this week or next. So that'll be something we can talk about, what Diginets are. But anyway, unless you have access to traditional cable or one of the streaming services, you probably weren't watching the Grammys. Well, I guess if you had satellite TV, like Dish or DirecTV, you were also watching it. These people are silly. Anyway, so how does the number stack up versus previous years? And this is the fun part. That's why I grabbed this article. Let's look at this chart. Grammys Awards viewership numbers. You can see in the millions, right? Not looking good. So you had a sudden uptick from 2012 into looks like 2015, getting close to or at 40 million. A lot of that probably was just with what was happening around everything, and everything was hyper politicized going into an election that didn't go the way that some people wanted it. So it makes a lot of sense. But as you can see, it started to fall off almost right away. And so by the time you get to 2018, you're down below, well, where they would like to be, somewhere around 30 million. And as of, last year, 2021, which was below 10 million. It's not like they rebounded a whole lot, did they? Anyway, the chart above, or the chart that we just referenced, talks about the viewership numbers from 1988, and it does talk about the growing number for where the Oscars were year over year. But again, that's not a huge increase based on just how low they were last year, but we'll talk about that another time. But anyway, the Grammy Awards being broadcast on those places seem to be the thing that they're pointing at. But again, 9.63 million people. You realize that there are television shows that get much better ratings than that. In fact, there are some YouTube creators that actually get more views on some of their content as well. It's bananas, but it's ridiculous. And again, we know the reason why. These award shows haven't been entertaining, not in a long time. The artists are not really showing you the best that they have, although there have been some standout performances over the last few years. The Grammys miss opportunities to feature young artists or even deep dive into things they claim to care about, like the dreaded word diversity. But what do I know? I do know this. This trend isn't going to go away. These ratings are going to continue to fall. People are going to continue to be less interested, again, in these entertainers who have turned into politicians, medical experts, and, well, I guess financial gurus. Let's just say, most of them should be, I guess, chairing the Fed. But these folks like to be experts in everything they have no understanding of, and they like to tell you about it. And to be honest, one of the things that's majorly off-putting is the fact that they'll lecture you about all of these things that they've all of a sudden become experts in somehow. It's okay. They're giving away a doctorate to Taylor Swift. Anyway, I don't know. Like I said, the thing that always hits me wrong is everything around these award shows is centered around people who are not informed to lecture you about anything other than maybe what they actually produced. But what do I know? Anyway, I'm just curious, did any of you watch any of these award shows, including the Grammys that just happened, or are you largely avoiding them like everybody else? I'm just curious. If you want to use the comment section down below for anything else, that would be great. There was some interesting news that broke about Coachella. I guess Kanye's pulled out of that music festival after essentially being told not to show up at the Grammys, but that's a whole other kettle of fish. Anyway, like I said, use the comments down below and we'll chat. Aside from that, support other independent creators out there on the platform. They could certainly use your help. We've had some up-and-coming creators become monetized recently, thanks to all of you, which would include Brightest Day, Supreme Heretic, and a few others. We also have some folks that split their time between, here on this particular platform that you're watching, and also over there on the gaming platform that I will call Purple, because it seems to make the Mama Susan a little more happy. But with that being said, please do share their content. Hit the like button, subscribe if you like their channel, you like what they're doing, and of course use the comment section because it helps with engagement, and I would appreciate that too. Thank you for that. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time, bye.
Hey there, one last quick note before I let you go. And before we make it to the end of this video, I, CultureCasino, have a brand new Teespring store. That's right, you can now go to Teespring, look up CultureCasino, or use the link in the video below, and pick out some handsome and beautiful CultureCasino merchandise with many different designs and styles and colors, many different items. I was actually surprised at all of the things that you could create And I have some more designs and items on the way here shortly. But, you know, if you want to support the channel in that way, there is some merch. Otherwise, here comes the ending. Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can, as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day.